We had Herb at your house. He talked about that, when guys go from, and you said it as well, when you start to create your legend, and it seems like, you guys are on your way to that and creating your own space. This is a tough organization to create that space in because they do have so much history, so many Hall of Famers. I say this, I haven't said this publicly, even though every week I get on TV and say, I've never seen you play so well. You earned so much respect from me. We were in Las Vegas. We were actually shooting shows, and you walked up to me. I walked up to you. I spoke to you. You came in. You sat down, and the first thing you said was, "What can I get better at?" And people who don't know, my best friend is your coach. And I called him that day. I was like, "You got one," and because he's always telling me how talented you are. You know how Joe is, ball skills, all this stuff. And he tells me, and he won't watch it, hopefully. He tells me a lot more positive about you than I'm sure he tells you, because we have those conversations, And then for you, he told me, he's like, I think he can start on every level. He said, I think he can start on D-line. I think he can start at linebacker. I think he can start in backfield, defensive backfield. And so you guys are starting to do that. What does it take for y'all to take that next step to where the Trayvon Diggs and the Michael Parsons and your teams are mentioned with the Aikmans and the Staubachs and the Irvins and the Smiths?
One thing I realized, everything nowadays is only on the principles and the details. Like, not so much of how much talent you got, but critiquing and fixing the little things. Just even with the rush plan, if you know, and then owning your role too. Everybody got a role on this team. Some is bigger, some is smaller. And I still talk to Coach every day. He's like, you're so good, but you can be so much better. And that type of stuff urges me to
that makes me
better.
so mad. I hate that. Somebody be like, do you know your potential? Yeah, I know my potential. I know. I'm trying to get there.
And it's so frustrating because I love greatness so much. I love people's success as much as my own. And when someone tells me that, it gets me going. I'm like, bro, I'm trying. Because people don't realize, when you are good, you try so much harder to be great. And it's such a big step that people don't realize. The step is like this. And you got to climb that step and that staircase to get to that step so, closely. For me, it's understanding why I'm rushing. Where's the line sliding to? Where's the back? Understanding the film, why I can rush when I can make my move, when I can't make my move. I'm still learning all these things because this is still new to me. I still don't know how to rush yet with my plan. I'm just naturally rushing right now. He's like, you're not there yet, but you're gonna get there. It takes time. It takes understanding. He got me my own personal notebook for when I'm in the D-line room. Because before they was just go in there, understand what you gotta do for these blitzes. You gonna line up here, and you just win. Now he's like, no, bro, I'll be selling you short if I just keep letting you do that. We're going to have you come in here all day today. You're going to learn how to think like a defensive lineman now. You can't just keep saying you're a linebacker and you're a playmaker. He's like, no, you got to be the best player. And I was like, damn, I really got some great guys around me. The coaching staff is great on all levels. I can have this level with AD. I can have this level with, they call my dad, and that's George, because I be trying to hang with the DBs, and he be like, let's go. and I put my head down, walk into the film room, and I could have it with Al. I don't think there's no drop-off in respect that each player, we all communicate as one.
That's what's, great for the team, because it's you don't have that, in programs, you don't have that, bringing people together, that coaching and that, genuine love from coaches. This is a business at the end of the day, so it's, rare. They could be here this year and be gone the next year, But it's, we don't ever feel that, We all feel everybody hands-on, everybody's making everyone better, So, but to answer your question, I feel to get to where we're trying to go, it's a process. It's a process, and we keep stacking wins, stacking seasons, then stacking it's going to get there. It's going to build. LeBron every year he's going crazy. He's been going crazy for years, for 20 years, going crazy. Kobe was going crazy for years. Jordan going crazy for years. And they are great. These are the greatest of all time. How did they get there? Keep stacking. Just keep stacking, keep stacking. So it's really just a process. And we stick to the process, do everything that we're supposed to do, one thing at a time. We're going to get there.
And what's similar to all those guys, because I love those guys. Like I study those guys. They all have adversity.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so big on adversity nowadays. Like, it's not even funny. Like, I say I'm my own adversity. Like, I want to say, like, I don't even believe in it because I know I'm going to put my head down and just run right through it.
Yeah.
Like, you just look at, shit, I watched Magic's documentary. If y'all didn't watch it, go watch it. That thing's dope.
Yeah.
That thing's so dope.
Yeah.
And it talks about his upbringing and his adversity and his challenges and what he went through at the end of his career. But they all came with losses.
Yeah.
That's why you can't get caught up in those losses. LeBron, you talk about his career, but people bring up the losses. Those losses build people.
Right.
And you watch the documentary, The Redeem Team, I hope y'all all tapped into that because that thing has some gems in it too. And you just learn about that selflessness that we keep talking about.
Yeah.
And when you got something like people are trying to prove something, like Wade said, like when Wade hurt his shoulder and his knee, he said, they didn't think I belonged anymore. Like, that drove me.
Yeah.
So, like, for him, when he was talking about it, like, that might have drove him this year. That's why he playing at such elite level. Like, sometimes, like, you know, we had lost last year. And I said to myself, like, I felt that. Like, I feel like I didn't do enough. Like, maybe I wasn't prepared enough where I could have made a more effect on the defense where I could have made a play and we could have won.
Yeah.
Like, to blame losses on a particular individual is, like, tough. Because why didn't I make a play in that game? You know, I made a lot of tackles, but why couldn't I make an impact game? All right, now we got Dak in a better position to score. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm big on purpose nowadays. Like, everything happens for a reason. Like, I had a purpose. Like, I had to lose in that moment, so that way this year we prepare for that moment again.